Hey there! Welcome to VR News Today, a new series on the channel that focuses on bringing you the latest news in the VR and AR industries. Because regardless of which company you prefer or what headset you've chosen, these are the things that could shape the future of VR for all of us beyond our wildest dreams. So let's jump into the first piece of news. Germany's Federal Cartel Office, which governs national authority when it comes to competition law, has started formal action to investigate the linkage between Oculus virtual reality products and the Facebook social network. According to Andreas Munt, the president of the Federal Cartel Office, with its social network, Facebook holds a dominant position in Germany and is also already an important player in the emerging but growing VR. We intend to examine whether and to what extent this tying arrangement will affect competition in both areas of activity. Facebook are already involved in another lawsuit with the FTC in the United States over the same topic of anti-competitive practices. But this one is not strictly related to Oculus but Facebook as a whole. While I don't personally mind, it's a shame that they require Facebook login on the Quest 2, since lawsuits like this are giving a bad name to what's otherwise a fantastic VR headset. Valve's next game is rumored to have asymmetric PC and VR structure, and its codename is Citadel. We now have the first rumors about a possible upcoming Valve game. After the success of Half-Life Alyx, the developer's first single-player game in over 9 years, Valve says it's ready to get back in the swing of creating new games. The voice of Valve News Network, Tyler McVicker, believes Valve's next game is codenamed Citadel and will have an asymmetric PC and VR structure. I'll talk about what that could mean in a second, but first, why would we believe what McVicker thinks? Well, while his work figuring out Valve's future plans does often involve a lot of speculation, that speculation is based on data mining info pulled from the update documents and various other game tools that the developers use. And before Half-Life Alyx was announced in 2019, Tyler managed to figure out with astounding accuracy a few details regarding the game story, Alyx as the player character, and even in-game items and features such as the gravity gloves. Now back to codename Citadel. Based on his leads so far, he believes that this game will be designed as a multiplayer game where PC players will be put against VR players with asymmetric gameplay, which means each side has a completely different role from the other. A great example of this is Panoptic, a deadly game of hide and seek where one player is the challenger and they must sneak around and avoid the gaze of the overseer, played by the person in VR. But he can't look everywhere at once, so the challenger needs to navigate stealthily through a crowd of faceless NPCs and hide in the shadows. It's going to be super interesting to see what Valve's implementation of this mechanic will look like. I personally can't wait for it, and I'll keep you updated with any new info about it. So consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with the latest VR news. BMW is using technology from the video games industry as well as artificial intelligence to blur the lines between reality and VR. The German car maker is using VR and AR in their design and testing processes and are able to drastically speed up their development cycles by testing variations in a virtual space instead of actually having to build physical mock-ups. They're the first car manufacturer to use technology used in the gaming industry. In 2015, they collaborated with Epic Games to develop a mixed reality system that allows them to easily visualize vehicle functions and new interior concepts without ever needing to physically build anything. The flexibility of working like this used to be impossible with older technologies. So seeing VR and AR be included more and more in various industries really gets me excited for the future of the entire ecosystem. Superhot gets a new holiday-themed game mode. The team at Superhot has been hard at work for this holiday season, and they've just released an update that gives players a brand new free holiday-themed game mode that also has a completely new endless level scoring system and of course a Christmas-inspired soundtrack to accompany the epicness of the holiday ass-kicking you'll get to do. The update is available on both Steam and Oculus headsets. So if you haven't played this one yet, it's a must-have, and stay tuned on the channel because I'm doing a giveaway for it really soon. VR brings a whole new perspective to underprivileged kids in Baltimore. The world we currently live in is one full of opportunities for kids and teenagers. But sadly, it's not always down to the aptitude of the child, but rather the opportunities that they're faced with based on their parents, where they were born, and other criteria that should not inhibit their chances of having a great life. At Fort Worthington Elementary and Middle School, a school in one of Baltimore's poorest neighborhoods, they've partnered with Lenovo to use VR headsets for educational purposes. The Lenovo VR Mirage Solo headset is what they're using to allow students to see things they'd never be able to see in real life. Imagine being right next to a pack of gorillas or seeing flamingos or other exotic animals up close and learning about new places and experiences in a way that feels real. VR and education is a big thing for me personally, as I think it can enable the young generations to think outside the box by learning in a new way that has never fully been done before. So instead of boring old textbooks with bland pictures, they would be able to learn history, geography, chemistry, engineering, and so much more with the use of VR and AR. And now for a round of lightning news, let's go! The first part of Paper Birds, an animated VR short, is now available on the Oculus Store after recently winning the Best Animation Experience at the Raindance Immersive Awards. And it's centered around where musicians get their inspiration, and it's a spectacle of sound and light. Oh, and it also comes with hand tracking. Powder VR drops in early access and gives you the chance to hit the slopes this winter while staying safe and not having to leave your living room. You can find it on Steam, and it comes with both a simulation and an arcade mode, so it's well fit for both beginners and more advanced riders. It's time for a bit of competition for Oculus in the standalone VR department, because XR Space's Manova headsets will start shipping to European customers. Consumers will be able to get their hands on the $499 headset that comes with a Snapdragon 845 processor and a battery that will supposedly last for a good 4-5 hours. VR meets Guitar Hero in Vertigo Games' title Unplugged Air Guitar, which is coming to the Oculus Store in 2021 and features full hand tracking for the Oculus Quest and Quest 2, which should make it an extremely interesting title, where you can have fun and learn guitar while you're at it. VR puzzle game Right, The Eye of Atlantis has been delayed until next year, and if you haven't heard of it before, it's pretty much a spiritual successor to Cyan World's older title Myst, which you may already know has recently been reimagined for VR and released on the Oculus Store. Right will be available for Steam VR and Oculus Rift headset, with no official word yet on Quest support. Verizon UK is developing a first-of-its-kind VR experience platform for viewing live sports events. Their plans are to enable fans to gather together in virtual environments and view the game as a social experience, which makes it even more exciting. And for the 1000th time in this video, the future of VR is shaping up to be incredible. Now let's move on to more news with a super interesting piece on how firefighters use AR to see through smoke. The see-through heads-up display was invented by entrepreneur Sam Kosman. Sam was on a hike through some volcanic craters, cause normal hobbies are boring, and he was walking blind through smoke and steam, and he started thinking if there's any kind of device that would allow you to see clearly in such conditions. Soon after this, the see-through visual communications platform was born. The heads-up display is made out of a transparent piece of glass that sits in front of one of the firefighter's eyes inside of the helmet, and it displays the feed of an external thermal camera that delivers a live feed that is first ran through an AI algorithm that can detect the edges of shapes and make them appear in bright neon green, even through thick smoke. Isn't that just amazing? Oculus development just got way easier. OpenXR support has been added in Oculus Unity, which is a big step for developers in general, because it means that Oculus are finally adopting an industry-backed standard, with the whole aim being to streamline the development of XR applications. And on top of that, version 23 of Oculus integration for Unity and Unreal Engine 4 also brings a new latency-reducing tech for the Oculus Quest, called Phase Sync, which in plain English means we should start seeing way more responsive games and an up to 10 millisecond reduction in input lag, which might not seem like much, but in VR that's huge, and everything will feel more natural from both a visual and tracking perspective. This should make a big difference in future titles, and I can't wait to see what developers can do with it. VRChat has launched a premium membership tier for early supporters on Steam. members will receive a custom badge and additional upgrades in the game, all to support the developers of this free-to-play multiplayer experience. The premium tier will be $9.99 a month or $99.99 per year, which unlocks premium features designed to help differentiate them from the thousands of other users on the VRC servers. Symphonic metal band Nightwish is about to start their Human Nature World Tour, surprise surprise, in virtual reality. In March of 2021, the long-standing band is holding an exquisite interactive experience called An Evening with Nightwish in a Virtual World, and will perform both new and older songs on March 12th and 13th at the Islanders Arms, a tavern built specifically for this purpose in VR. How cool is that? I literally cannot wait to be a part of this, and although I definitely hope in-person live concerts will never go away, being able to also attend VR events such as this one is just incredible, especially because of what it would enable them to achieve both visually and from an immersion perspective. Apple is currently working on a technology that could generate MR and VR content from flat videos, allowing for endless possibilities in bringing 2D clips to users in a 3D presentation, which is unheard of. The research was published by the US Patent and Trademark Office and is titled Method and Device for Generating Synthesized Reality Reconstruction of Flat Video Content. In the patent, Apple starts with a definition of what they call synthesized reality, or SR for short. According to them, SR refers to digitally generated objects and environments and is a broad term that brings together VR, AR, and MR. The potential for this type of technology is endless, and to get an idea of the types of things it could enable, the patent states the following. A user may wish to experience video content, like a TV episode or a movie, as if he or she was in the scene with the characters. In other words, the user wishes to view the video content as an SR experience instead of simply viewing the content on a TV or other display device. This is most probably a part of the rumored future Apple Glass, and I think Apple is definitely one company that could really bring VR and AR to the next level for true mass adoption. Zelia's 3D audio technology has the potential to bring VR concerts and events to the next level. If you haven't heard of them before, Zelia are experts in immersive audio and 3D audio recording that can be applied in research, art, games, music, sports, and anything else you could imagine. Their technology makes 6 degrees of freedom possible when it comes to audio. So as you move through a VR environment, the sounds around you will adjust according to your position. Imagine you're at a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert and the music is just a bit too loud. Well, you won't need to adjust the volume. You can just take a few steps back and it won't be as loud. This is somewhat emulated in VR games today, but with Zelia's help, this could become so much more immersive and true to real life. Earlier this year, the company collaborated with the Poznan Philharmonic Orchestra in Poland to show what their tech is capable of, and they've recreated the whole orchestra in VR with 360-degree sound and the ability to navigate through it like you were moving on the actual stage. I for one will keep my eye on them and can't wait to see the first game to use this kind of audio technology. The Lynx R1 is a mixed reality headset prototype and has one really big difference that sets it apart from every other VR or MR headset on the market. Its lenses are like nothing we've ever seen before, and the reason is that their shape is square and they use a very unique warping pattern that allows the users to see through them. The big benefit to using lenses like this instead of the standard Fresnel style lenses that you find on most headsets on the market that do work well in most circumstances is that the ones on this prototype headset are essentially immune to God rays, which are those lines of light you sometimes see in VR, especially on title screens. Stan Larocque, the creator of the Lynx R1, has recently shared a bunch of images on Twitter, and the square-shaped lenses appear to be made out of 4 triangles that meet in the middle and are positioned in a diamond-shaped manner, which means the distortion pattern that appears on the actual screen of the headset needs to match them. So as you can see in these pictures that Larocque shared, this would be what you see in the headset, and this is what is actually shown on the screen. So the lenses bend the light in such a way that these images converge, and that's honestly amazing. The company is already shipping prototypes every day, and they're almost ready to launch it to the general public. Consider subscribing and I promise to let you know when they launch it. FXG has just announced the next big step for VR cameras. The company's CEO Nick Mitchell lives in Hangzhou, China, and he was quarantined for a month as a result of you know what. And when he was finally allowed to leave his home, he wanted to document that process, so he started filming the almost empty streets of the city with a 360-degree camera as a way to use VR to tell his story using FXG's Seize camera system, a powerful 16K 360 camera that features 16 individual lenses. And now FXG has partnered with Mi7 to work on an even more mind-blowing camera that will feature two 3D lenses with a 6000 by 6000 pixel resolution and a full-frame CMOS sensor each. The benefit of having a system like this as opposed to any normal 360-degree camera, which you would also be able to use to film content for VR, is the fact that this binocular shape in which the two lenses are positioned offers a more natural appearing human eye-like IPD, while most 360 cameras tend to warp the content. The FM360 Duo will be available in early 2021, and they've said they'll announce the pricing by the end of this year. So although it's clearly incredibly expensive tech, I for one am curious to see just how expensive, because if it's in the affordable realm even for local TV stations and smaller businesses, then it might bring so much more content for us VR lovers. One of my goals with this channel is to document the rise of VR, because I feel like we're right at the brink of it, and the next 2 to 5 years we'll start seeing things that we've only dreamed of in the past, so stick around and let's go on this journey together. So consider subscribing if you've enjoyed the content, and now you can click either here or here to decide what to watch next. Stay safe and enjoy VR. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!